welcome to my corner.
Welcome to my corner. Let's have a talk now. From Miami to California. Check your girl out. I'm gonna give it to you straight up. That's right. That's right. Keeping it real, no games inside. Let's go. Welcome to my corner, y'all.
Everybody, welcome back to the corner. What up, CC crew? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up, squad? What up? I know we're in quarantine. I know we're on day 1,000 of whatever we are. 525,000. Yeah, that's how I feel. Anyways, so it's been a minute since I've done a movie review. I think the last movie we watched in the corner that I told y'all to watch was American Son on Netflix, I think. Yeah. So it's been a minute. Okay, so we're in quarantine, so there's some things that I've been doing, of course, producing, but I've also been watching TV because I like shows. So there was this show, a preview of a show that I had saw, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll check it out.
Elena, someone burned down your house with you inside.
About 2 weeks ago, my homegirl, shout out to Jasmine, she DM'd me on Instagram and she was like, okay, Candace, there's a show called Little Fires Everywhere that I think you'll like. It's based upon a novel. I think you'll enjoy it. I'm like, okay, I'll add it to my list. Well, yesterday, I literally had nothing to do. So I was like, let's see what Hulu's talking about. You guys, I turned it on. Turned it on and I binged the whole show. It's only in like 4 to 5 episodes, and I think each episode is maybe like 50 minutes. They drop a new episode every week, so you can go catch up. Little Fires Everywhere is so good. Oh my gosh. It stars Kerry Washington, which is Olivia Pope from Scandal, and Reese Witherspoon, who is the girl from Legally Blonde. I don't know who the rest of them actresses are. I ain't never seen them before. The most important ones is Kerry Washington and Reese Witherspoon. Okay, now let me let y'all know. As a black woman, this is a black woman's review, okay? Because I don't want y'all getting in the comments like, are you racist? I can't be. What I'm trying to say is, from a black person's point of view, I'm gonna tell y'all why you should watch the show. It's super good. I think it's also good for white and black because it kind of gives you this, you kind of get to have this dialogue. It's a good storyline. Let me tell you what happened. Basically what happens is Reese Witherspoon is this rich white woman. She lives in her rich neighborhood with her rich white privilege, rich everything, right? And Kerry Washington is a black starving artist. Basically she's out looking for a new project and she ends up in this rich white neighborhood, right? She ends up looking for an apartment. Well, she ends up renting from the Richardsons, aka Lena, aka Reese Witherspoon, right? Reese Witherspoon allows her to rent because she wants to do like her, I felt bad. You know how I wanted to help, civic duty, right? Okay, so basically what happens is Kerry Washington's daughter, Kerry Washington, aka Mia Warren, has a little girl named Pearl. Pearl's in high school. Well, Pearl and her have been on their own their whole life. They shop at Goodwill. They don't need much because what she has is enough because Pearl doesn't know more, okay? So they move all the time or whatever. So now Pearl is indulged into this rich neighborhood, this rich culture, and Pearl wants to stay. So Kerry Washington's trying to please Pearl and give her a normal life. Also, Kerry Washington has some secrets. We don't know who Pearl's daddy is. We don't know where it came from. We don't know if she was raped. We don't know anything. We just know she's an artist, a starving artist, but we find out later she didn't have to starve, that she's low-key a big deal. Anyways, so Pearl's like, Mom, I want to stay here. I want to have friends. I want to be normal. Like, I'm tired of moving all the time. So they end up staying, right? Okay, well, Pearl is in love with the Richardsons, aka Reese Witherspoon's family. And Kerry Washington is like, I'm about to protect my child from this white privilege. Not doing it, right? And so Kerry Washington's like, you ain't going over there no more. So Reese Witherspoon's like, well, I want to help you out because I know you're a single mom and I know you don't make a lot of money. So I was wondering if you want to work for me. And Kerry Washington's like, okay, what would you like me to do? Oh, you can be my maid. Maid? Oh, child. I mean, it is happening in 1997, but her maid? Really, bro? Really? You couldn't let her be your executive assistant. You want her to be the maid? So Kerry Washington takes the job, but she doesn't take the job because she wants to be the maid. She takes the job because she needs to figure out why her daughter is so indulged into this. And she needs to figure out why she needs to protect her daughter because she's just like, I hate to say this, but let's just go ahead and have this conversation. As a black woman, we as black people, we are taught to be 3 steps ahead. We can't be stupid. We are taught to be 3 steps ahead. We don't take handouts. We will struggle before we ask for help. It's not the best mindset that we have, but this is what we were taught. And so Kerry Washington has now taught her daughter this, like, we're black, we don't take handouts. You fight for everything you want. Don't you let these people give you anything. That's the mentality she has. Well, Reese Witherspoon won't talk like that. Reese Witherspoon was taught, you know, rainbows and unicorns, and you just have to call. And so she's really blinded to her white privilege. I know this sucks because you're probably like, what does it have to do with race? It's really good. I think white people and black people should watch it so that they can have this dialogue, because if you say, if you don't understand what white privilege is, I think it kind of gives you an example of what it is. Like how sometimes when you're white and you get pulled over and you don't have to go to jail, but when you're driving while black, you're automatically pulled over. You're having those discussions. And I know people are like, man, we're tired of having a race show. Well, until you can get honest about what goes on in America, even in those times and now, I think we're always going to have these race battles, which is why I loved it, because I can see both sides. So as a black woman, I see Kerry Washington's side, but also I was raised in these Caucasian environments. I was the one black girl in the all-white school. I knew, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was Pearl. Like, I wanted to hang with the white kids. I wanted to be like, I like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, and I was all about like, oh my God, like, you know what I'm saying? And then like my parents had to sit me down one day and be like, look girl, you black. You are black. And I understand that this is your environment and you are a product of your environment, but I didn't know about like, you know, having to struggle and other things that black kids went through, because my whole entire life I grew up in the suburbs. So I could relate to both sides. I have been the Oreo. I've been, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why I was so indulged in the show, because I'm just like, dang, now that I have been to an HBCU, now that I live on my own, now that I see that this world is literally what our parents, now I'm like, okay, I see both sides. Like, sis, you could have found another job for her to have other than the maid. And then I'm like, Kerry Washington, let this girl have some type of fun. Like, let her enjoy the rich people's money. Like, if they want to buy it, let her buy it. Because you can't afford it, just let her, but you know, whatever. So anyways, their kids are super duper intertwined. So Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington act like they're friends. Kerry's just trying to be a friend, but low-key betrays her, because Kerry Washington works at this Chinese restaurant, and there's this Chinese coworker who's really, really sad, and Kerry's like, what's her story, you know? Come to find out, the Chinese coworker left her baby at the firehouse after she had her. And so this is where the plot thickens. Reese Witherspoon's best friend couldn't have kids, always lost her baby. So what happens? Randomly, this baby appears at a fire station, and Reese Witherspoon's best friend has now taken in the baby, okay? So Kerry Washington is like, we gotta find your baby, we gonna find your baby, da-da-da-da-da. So they're playing this 1-year-old's birthday party, and it's super duper extravagant, and Kerry Washington's like, if this is what you're gonna do for one, what are you gonna do when she's 16? So Elena, aka Reese Witherspoon, explains to Kerry like, hey, so the reason why this is such a big deal is because they couldn't have kids, and this baby was left on a fire, at a fire station, and then they've got the baby. And Kerry Washington begins to put 2 and 2 together. She's like, oh, snaps, I done found this lady's baby. And so the Chinese lady said, there is a red mark on her head, okay? That's how I know it's my baby. Lord, Kerry Washington went to the party, acted like she was a photographer. She was gonna photograph the photos. Why did she see that the baby had a red spot on her head? And she went back and told the Chinese lady, like, I found your baby. Okay, now if you would have told me that you found my baby, I would have went out and freaked out too. Well, Kerry Washington was like, we have to do the legal thing. Let's go get paperwork. She's like, we ain't going to get no paperwork. I'm going to get my baby now. She runs up to the Caucasian people's house. She's like, give me my baby. Give me my baby. She's screaming at the top of her lungs. They're like, oh my God. Oh my. So they're screaming, and the lady's freaking out because she's like, this is not your child. She's like, it is my child. I left her at the fire station. And, you know, the lady's like, I'm her mother. Like, you left her. Y'all ever seen the movie Losing Isaiah? It came out in the early 90s with Halle Berry. Same exact storyline. Halle Berry, well, maybe not the same. Halle Berry was a drug addict, and she threw her baby in a trash can, okay? And the trash people found the baby, and, you know, basically a white couple adopts this black baby. Well, Halle Berry gets herself together and wants her baby back. Same exact storyline of Losing Isaiah. Same exact storyline. And so now there's a case going on because the Chinese lady is entitled to her child, because technically they haven't adopted her, so that's still her child, but the Chinese lady is also an immigrant. And so, you know, the Caucasian people want to throw their money and like, hey, how much can we pay you to go away? How much can you pay me to make me throw my child away? What is you, stupid? Like, of course you're not going down in a fight. They try to pay her $10,000, it didn't work. So Kerry Washington is the reason all this is happening, right? And Reese Witherspoon's like, you betrayed my trust, and how did you, like, and so Kerry Washington's like, it is what it is. We had to get this kid back to her mom. And she's like, she is her mother. And Kerry Washington, no. No, she's not. That's not her mother. You can't just throw your money at people and think you can buy whatever you want because you're rich and white. And Reese is just triggered. And I'm in there like, oh, now ooh. So, like, the whole entire time you're watching, especially if you're black, I don't know, I'm torn because I'm just like, oh, child, and so, like, every single episode, it keeps getting better. But remember, once again, their kids are friends. And so Reese Witherspoon has this one daughter who is, like, gay. She's figuring out her sexuality. And she's getting bullied because in that environment, back in those days, you weren't cool to be openly gay. And so, like, she's trying to figure out her sexuality. She's in high school. It's weird. You ain't got boobs yet. She's just having an awkward time. Well, she hates Reese Witherspoon, and she hates Reese Witherspoon's privilege. Like, she's the kid that is woke. You know how you have that one kid in the family who's low-key woke out of the rich family? She's like, we're privileged, and you can't just throw money around, and we don't know real struggle, and Reese hates it. So Carrie and her become close because they can relate, right? And so, they also have another daughter who's like the perfect straight A cheerleader, dates a black guy, so she thinks she's woke and knows affirmative action. Well, her and the black guy end up getting pregnant. She aborts the baby. Here comes Kerry Washington again. So basically what happens is Reese is supposed to be this perfect mother, but her kids are related to Carrie. And Carrie is a struggling mom, and she lets it be known, but Carrie's daughter loves Reese. Carrie's daughter always wanted a perfect mom, and it's like vice versa. So the whole entire time all this is happening, everybody's just like going back and forth. It's so many secrets. Like, every time you think you figured out something, another plot twist comes. So you're literally sitting on the edge of your seat like, oh, snaps. So the whole entire show starts off with the house burning up into flames. We come to find out that's the Richardson's house. You're literally like, who burned down the house? So basically you're solving a mystery. Who burned down the house? So at first I'm thinking, well, Carrie had to burn down the house. But now after seeing all these different things, I'm like, I don't know who burned down the house. And so every single episode you're on the edge of your seat like, oh, shoot. So now the last episode leaves off with Reese Witherspoon going up to New York City. Because remember I said Kerry Washington was an artist, a starving artist. The gag is she wasn't starving. Apparently she's a big deal artist, but she just goes by a different name. We can't figure out why she goes by a different name. We can't figure out her past. So Reese is trying to figure out her past, right? So it leaves off with us like where they're saying like, they say Mia was never supposed to have, that's not Mia's baby. Basically, Pearl is not Mia's kid, and we're trying to figure out why. And then it also leaves off with Carrie telling Reese's daughter, you didn't make good choices, you had choices. You didn't make good choices, you had choices, saying like you're privileged because her daughter gets pregnant and she's like, well, did I do the right thing? And Kerry Washington's like, I don't really care if you did the right thing or not. I'm upset that you went to the abortion clinic and you used my child's name because you didn't care enough about her to use your own name. You hide behind your privilege. When I tell y'all this thing is good, I'm just like, okay, so next episode, what we talking about, and how long do I have to wait in between episodes? Like, I'm mad I rushed through it because now every week I have to wait for a new episode, and I'm just like, somebody who read the book, tell me what happens, because I'm just like, I can't wait every week for a new episode. Who about to do that? I can't. Like, Kerry Washington is acting her butt off. Reese Witherspoon is acting her butt off. The writers, whoever did this, round of applause, ladies. So I really want y'all to watch with me because I'm gonna start doing a weekly episode. But if you can, just go watch it. It's so good, y'all. I'm literally like, oh my God. As a black woman, I'm torn because I see Kerry Washington's side because I'm black, and then as a person who was a product of these environments, I'm torn. I'm literally like, oh my God, what do we do? So if you've seen it, jump in the comments so we can know like what to watch. If you felt like I felt where you're torn and you're literally like, oh darn, ooh, let me know. We'll be back on Wednesday night, probably Thursday morning, with another episode 5 review because this is episode 1 through 4. I was trying not to give too much away, but at the same time, just watch it. It's good. All right, I love y'all. We'll be back in the corner. Let's go. Go watch Little Fires Everywhere on Hulu. You